Yeah, this seems like the worst possible time to do this. Oh yeah, put your pilot in the middle of your first season, that'll get people to watch. But I do really want to explain my plans for this channel in a non-community post form, so here we go. Once upon a time when I was walking along the street in Costa Rica, I had the idea of making Scott the Woz style video game reviews in 5 minutes or less alongside a bunch of other video ideas that I wanted to get around to. It was a plan I took back to the US before I was greeted with a piss poor economy causing me to shelve that idea. Sometime later, I got Vegas Pro in a humble bundle and made my first ever video review of Fazbear Entertainment Storage. It was pretty bad, but for a first video, it could have been a lot worse. I continued with that basic format for a while with some hit videos related to Five Nights at Freddy's, and I kind of forgot about the 5-minute format for a while. Then 2024 rolled around where, despite making some of my favorite videos thus far, I really struggled view-wise. I think part of that was due to a few animated style videos that just threw off the algorithm. So I tried looking back at some of my best performing videos, as even FNAF content was failing on my channel, and I noticed that some of my best videos were the I Guess videos, where I took a blind dive into both Tekken and Palworld, plus Resident Evil 5 if you count it. I really did enjoy jumping into those games blind, and I could probably do it again with my 390 games on Steam. Yeah, despite complaining about being poor, I was a pretty avid Humble bundler before. I can't lose money on some of these. I may need Angry Birds VR Isle of Pigs at some points. And then one of my friends told me that an elephant for a dime was only a good deal if you needed an elephant. Now I'm a financial genius. So I'm stuck with 300 odd games that I wanted to review, but I just didn't have time for. I was doing this alongside my job, my aspiration before becoming an indie game developer, and recreational boxing. If only I could review these really. I pulled out the 5-minute format idea and got to work on making 555. The first 5 means 5 hours of gameplay. We live in a society where people are busy and companies love making games that last until the heat death of the universe. And to many, time is worth its weight in gold. That's why I put in the 5-hour time limit. I'm looking at this as a guy who doesn't have all day to pick mushrooms in an RPG. But some games don't get good until 10 hours in. Yes, that's called a criticism. A game needs to hook you, to give you a reason to play, even if it isn't just short bursts within the first hour, much less 5. I have no reason to work through 10 hours of bad gameplay just to get to 10 hours of good gameplay. And I can ultimately tell if a game is good if I want to keep on playing after the 5-hour mark. The second 5 is for 5 minutes, in which I review the game in 5 minutes or less. Pretty self-explanatory. And then I rate it out 5 stars. This doesn't really mean much, I just needed a third 5. So in the end, my time is saved, your time is saved, everyone is happy. So I immediately began working on my first 555 episode, Animal Well. Then it flopped view-wise, and I went to work on more time-sensitive projects. That was the end of 555. I went on to make a small drama video that got way too much attention and is probably one of the worst mistakes I've ever made, because now, nobody cares about what I make afterwards. Ranking FNAF games, reviewing Studio Ponok, both great videos with terrible views because the algorithm thought I became a dramatary YouTuber and sank my actual content. So, I took a small break, reviewed Catching Up, and then had an absolutely horrible experience with Yoku's Island Express and needed to shout my complaints to the world by making the second ever 555. But that's when it got to me. From starting the new Vegas file to uploading to YouTube was about 5 hours for that video. Ironic, isn't it? And that gave me an idea. If I can fit 5 hours of gameplay into my week, write up the script during my lunch break, I can pump out these videos on a weekly basis. This allows me to clear my backlog, get the algorithm to like me again, and still have time for my game development ventures. I don't know, let's give it a shot. As I'm recording this, my Halo video is doing decently well with my Crow Country video scheduled to come out tomorrow morning, and I'm going to schedule this video to come out while I'm on vacation. So I'm really not sure what the upcoming numbers will be like. But now this is going to be the focus. I'm mostly trying to dive into games that I know little to nothing about. It makes the experience that much better. And for other scenarios, I have this format, 5 more minutes. 5-minute segments discussing topics including, but not limited to, games played after the 5-hour mark, multiple games in a single series, games I'm already familiar with, things going on in the gaming industry, non-video games, ultra-autistic analysis of a single aspect of a game, open-ended discussions, etc. Now, this shouldn't be the end of my typical format of videos. Hopefully not. If I feel I need to make a video outside of this format, I will do so. But I'm excited to take on this challenge, see how it goes, and learn from it. I've got plans for videos throughout the end of the year, where I'll probably take a break and rethink my life. We'll check back in then, and yeah, let's see how this goes. JJ, it sounds like you're blatantly copying Yahtzee. You might be onto something.